got something to share. This has been over 15 years, 16 years, 17 years, I'm not exactly sure, in the making. So it's the most insane thing during my illness. Super stupid. Yeah, I still can't reconcile it after all this time. And you know, I never really got to speak about these things during my years of illness, because I never knew anyone with this illness. It was only when I started to recover that I started to suddenly meet a spate of people, and then afterwards, obviously, I started the recovery stories, the advocacy work that recovery was possible from fibromyalgia, CFS, and POTS and related illnesses. So, yeah, I've never really spoken about these things, but this, even, you know, coming close to 2 decades later, it still plays on my mind. And I thought, today's the day I'm going to share it. I don't know why I'm laughing. I think it's like I can't reconcile it. So look, let me get into it. When I got CFS, I wasn't really a drinker of alcohol. I mean, if I went to a party or something, maybe. But, you know, by the time I had CFS, I had a family, I got married. I don't think I even had any alcohol in the house, like wine or beer even. But when I was sick, whenever I'd have a drink, like if I went to barbecue or someone handed me a beer, you know, it would always send me into a flare-up. And last 3 days, 5 days, a week, I mean, it really wasn't worth it, you know, and pretty soon I stopped avoiding all alcohol altogether. But then a few years later, so I got, after CFS, well, not after, during CFS, I got POTS and then fibromyalgia as well. But the fibromyalgia didn't kick in until a few years later. And especially towards the end of my illness, maybe year 6 or something like this, it really came in like clockwork. Like every afternoon, you could set your clock by it. You know, around 2:30, boom, the pain would start. And you know, it's not just bad having the pain, but knowing it's going to come, and then it just arriving like that. It wasn't easy to deal with, you know. I was kind of on my own. Yeah, it was a difficult time. And one thing I started to do, which is like not possible, I started to drink to try and cope, so to kind of numb the pain. But you know, I couldn't drink because I had an alcohol intolerance. I don't know if you heard that bird, but even a bird disagrees. It's not possible, right? How could you have an alcohol intolerance and then be drinking regularly to numb your pain? Like what? If the alcohol creates flare-ups, then what, was I in a flare-up the whole time? I don't think so, because like you can definitely tell a flare-up, right? Things get significantly worse. Or maybe I couldn't tell anymore because I was so bad. I mean, I honestly, like, I can't reconcile it in my head, even all these years later. And so this is one of the reasons it's always played on my mind, because I'm like, how could this be? Obviously I work like as a coach, so I'm hoping you don't think lesser of me for having done such a stupid thing. But this is the thing, when we are chronically ill, sometimes we do things that are like completely illogical. I mean, this is like beyond illogical. You know, the one thing that I avoid that I know makes me sick, now I'm doing it every day. Like, this is like madness, right? And, but it's just about coping. It's just about getting through the experience. And it's easy to do something that even makes you worse. I wonder if you've had this sort of experience. Have you done mad, stupid things that make absolutely no sense, that you know make you worse, but like you do them anyway? Have you always had alcohol intolerance too, since you've been sick? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I hope you don't judge me too harshly. It was time to say something about it. It's just played always on my mind, and I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think. Yeah. So yeah, leave a comment below and try and be kind about my stupidity.